Go ahead and give me some chat. Make sure we can hear each other all
Okay.
right.
Ryan's voice is fantastic.
Yep,
I-
okay, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Everyone
He's
is
not
visible.
really, he's
Brian's
not
voice
really
is
horrendous.
I don't like it.
Cool.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
If the sound's up and all that good stuff. Okay. So as every session begins, we will start with a character question. This one was generously provided to us by the company of Chance and Megan. Make sure to buy their crab cakes.
Sir, this is
Their
Wendy's.
what?
This is Wendy's.
Yes, it is Wendy's. But so provided to me by Chance. Your character, tell me something that they would kill for, and then on the other side of that coin, tell me something that they would die for.
Right now, old Ollie would he'd kill
For a goddamn hamburger.
probably pretty freely. Obviously nothing like towards the evil alignment, but I mean like if even like remotely threatened,
Mm-hmm.
like if he thinks someone's gonna try and shoot him or stab him, boom.
Yeah.
Something he would die for.
Harold.
Yeah. Ollie would die for Harold in a goddamn instant. It goes Harold, country, family, and then like a few star members of them,
Mm-hmm.
that we could list. Yeah, no, I didn't shit. I didn't even think of Harold. That's a good one. I'm gonna cry.
It may happen one day, and we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it.
Shut
But
your
no,
fucking
no.
mouth.
What would Ollie die for? Other than Harold, of course, the obvious,
Big booted Latino women.
possibly.
Welcome, special guest Nicholas.
Yeah.
Again, not Nick's name. Gonna go ahead and run that by one more time.
Don't tell them that. They don't need to know what my real name is or what it is.
I'm
His
gonna start
full
saying,
legal name.
Well, you want my social security number too while we're at it?
please, yes.
Okay.
But okay. What would Ollie die for?
I said, like Harold, then his, country, family. If to go for a more like a different route than for someone, if he, because I'm not sure how like Die Hard, the Knights of Dusk are, but if he like broke an oath or couldn't finish a mission or something like that, he like if it was like there was no way for him to come home after he like settled on a quest or something.
So Ollie's a Slayer's Oath kind of guy.
Yeah, I was about to say yeah. Like if it got
Fair
down to like, to bite the bullet kind of moment,
Mm-hmm.
Ollie would probably do that.
Okay. What about you two? Something they'd kill for, something they'd die for.
Die for Mary. Kill.
I knew it.
Every other session, flip flops.
Do what?
I really am happy I conveniently gave a NPC a name that you also gave an NPC. And it has
Oh
become a
right.
running joke.
I don't even know.
Miss
And,
Marianne.
JP knew it.
Yep, Miss Marianne.
Miss Marianne.
And fucking kill for redemption.
Nice. Solid. Okay. What about JP? What about our little preacher man? What would the man of God kill for?
God. No, that I won't be so
Crusading.
cheap. I won't
I
be
like
so.
it.
I'll say I won't be so cheap.
Deus Vult.
JP, there's a lot JP is willing to die for. That'd probably be easier to answer maybe a question next time what he wouldn't be willing to die for. But
I would martyr myself for anything.
Right
right,
now.
just
Right
give
now.
me, put me in, coach.
You
My
give me
blood
a
is
reason,
ready.
and I will die for it.
At the moment, if JP had, I mean, honestly, if he thought, like, if we're gonna be honest, JP, if it meant his, and he thinks about this, so I guess it's more of a past tense thing. He would have died if it meant his wife could have lived,
That is sad.
and he thinks
but
about that all the time.
Okay, that's fair, sad. Fair and sad.
He would kill. That was not a line he was willing to cross. He would not have killed to keep his wife alive, because that would have meant ditching the man that she fell in love
Her
with.
husband would have effectively died. Yeah.
Yes. But he would kill to try not to be cheap here.
For the glory of the Empire of Rome.
Always.
Oh, I would die for Rome.
Daniel changes his answer.
Oh, I'm talking about real life.
JP would kill if it meant bringing about the end of his friends' turmoils.
Okay. That last word was really important. If it would bring about the end of his friends, I was like, I mean, that is a very simple thing you'd kill for. It seems like a pretty in-reach thing you could kill
Gonna
for.
have to kill him before he kills us.
That's what I would kill for. My life.
No.
Okay.
He considers his two new companions his friends. He would kill to end their suffering. Because the suffering he sees is not something that's like how his wife had something physical. Theirs seem more past-related, mental, something that they will have to confront one day. And he has decided that if that time comes and they're together, he is willing to get violent for it.
If you guys are ever at like some sort of establishment and JP offers you to take you out back for some reason, I would seriously consider whether you go with them or not.
Hey.
You should keep that in your mind, that answer. Awesome.
You saying the quiet part out loud.
Okay.
We're gonna have to clip that part of me saying that and just play it every week so that I remember.
That I'm coming for him.
I'm coming
But
for you.
You're
okay. Good answers. Good answers all around. All right. Which brave soul is willing to give me a previously on for our last session?
It's Austin's turn.
It's Austin's turn?
All right.
Okay.
Let me whip out a couple of them. Where's my life insurance?
Yeah, find your life insurance card.
All right. So, there we were, traversing the valley under the mountain after separating from Mr. Whitman's love, Miss Mary. I worry that he will not fare mentally knowing whether or not she is safe. But alas, I will watch him. We're constantly debating whether going around the mountains or over would be better. And while debating these things, a pack of wolves seems to be hunting us. We finally decide that up is quicker. And every night, the wolves get closer. And closer. And closer. We eventually come to a forest. And while traveling through, we notice a altar-esque area with a fresh corpse slain to what only we could have thought was some beast, demon, or deity. And it was at that point we were attacked. And if I'm correct and my memory sucks, as Mr. J.P. Whitman, they were wolf type. Were they wolf monsters or just wolves?
They were wolves, but they clearly weren't normal wolves.
Okay, that's what JP was thinking. Thank you, mysterious figure.
Yes.
So we cut them down. We investigate more around the altar. Notice the person's throat was ripped out. We decide to travel on, but carefully, and we end up meeting and coming across the land of a fellow named Henry Todd, he is peculiar because his land is blocked off by some magic or some other form of energy that we've yet to discover that did not allow Mr. J.P. Whitman or Mr. Oliver Fairchild to travel through, but I was able to pass through it. He told us about an old witch of a woman who was causing those sacrifices and all the problems in the woods, so we decide we are going to take care of her. We slowly move through, get to where she's staying, and we notice she's not really allowed to leave her area. She ends up seeing us, sparks some level of a conversation, and where Mr. Henry was saying she's the problem of the woods, she's saying the other story, that he's the one doing the sacrifices. And she was able to, in some way, shape, or form, keep him from leaving his house to continue his plans with this area. And it kind of left our companions in the thought of who to trust. Do they go with Mr. Todd? Do they go with the old woman? Do they investigate further and wait for some other tragedy to occur? But that's what happened last time on Deadlands.
All right. Very good.
On the
Previously
edge of
on.
my seat right now.
Very comprehensive. So, without further ado, let us begin. Oh, hold up. We good?
Yep.
Okay. When one finds themselves at the mercy of another, there's always a sense of futility that comes with the loss of control. A driver gains one's agency and surety to find a way to maneuver back into a place of command. However, there's always someone else looking to do the same, and the vagabond gunslingers who met on a stage to Harrison, Arkansas almost a month ago are learning very quickly that sometimes the one in control is not always that obvious. Caught between a feud of some sort between two individuals living rough deep in the Ozark Mountains, they must decide who it is in control of these woods. Is it the friendly old hermit resting in her shack, who may be a malignant hag whose bloody maledicts taint these peaks? Or the kind widower, alone in his cabin, who may be a secret butcher, driven mad by the perils of the mountain? Either way, a move must be made soon, and if not by them, by someone else. When we open up, you guys have just finished your conversation with the older lady whose name I do not believe you all ever got. Having
We
just finished
didn't.
conversation with her, uh, hearing a different side of the story, though matching in some ways, fingers seem to be pointing in a different direction. Uh, you guys are just outside her homestead. She's gone back to doing whatever it was she was doing before you all spoke with her. You're probably about 5 minutes out. You've left earshot and eye shot of her place, and you're left with a decision of what to do now and how to go about it. Um, it's about noonish. The sun is high, but overcast. You can't really see much with the cloud cover. It's a dreary day deep in the woods. And what are you guys up to? What are you guys planning?
All right, to go over the plan, we go check in with Todd, and we can either ask him to come out from the tree line, or we have two other alternatives. One, JP, you can walk in and push him out,
Mm-hmm.
or we can always try to lasso him and pull him out. Thoughts? Concerns?
No quarrels from me.
We can, with pushing the JP plan, me and you, we can sit on the outskirts, have JP just step, somewhat in front of it. Maybe tell him that we need to rest when we didn't find her, maybe.
I think we just say
And we
that she
just
wasn't there.
and we just need another, get him close to it. And he can push him out.
All right. And then we can improvise from there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the plan is we're gonna go talk. JP's gonna walk in, try to push him out.
Or, do we want me to push him out, or do you guys want me to stun him and then just drag him out?
Oh, and stun him. What
Up
you
to you.
talking about?
You know he's a witch now. I think we've finally established that Mr. Whitman understands that JP is a witch.
Yeah, but
I am a
only
blessed
that he has
man.
healing powers. I don't know that he can stun people.
Mm.
The hand of God has many powers.
He stunned you, and you were aware of it at the time when you got a little frisky when you were under the influence of the demon and tried to shank Mary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we can lead with that. And then we improvise.
Okay.
All agreed?
All agreed.
All right. With that agreement, you guys start making your way back. It is not a long walk back across this sort of like mountain holler to get back to Mr. Todd's homestead. By the time you guys will reach there, it'll still be the afternoon. You'll be in no danger of evening approaching, and the threat of nighttime will not be a problem for you all. So, as the hours kind of, well, maybe 2 hours to get back. I can't really remember how long, but about 2 hours to get back. You guys approach the edge of that property line. So your plan is for JP to walk up and you two to hang back unseen?
No, I think we're all
No,
gonna walk up together
mhm.
because he knows we work in a group. So
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are gonna walk up together, and then JP's gonna go in, and then through some means of force try to push him through his property line.
yeah, like good people.
Yeah. Okay.
Honest work.
All right. Well, as the three of you approach, you see the same sort of. I would describe it as quaint cottage in the woods. You see he has a wooden ladder leading up to his roof, and he seems to be working on putting wooden shingles on the top of his house as you all approach.
Hello there, sir, Mr. J. John H. Whitman.
You don't say
Austin,
JP.
Austin fucked him up.
He was about to say Mr. JP Whitman.
Back here.
He kind of turns and looks at you all. He gives you guys a smile. Oh well, it's good to see you boys back.
Yep. Putting in some work on the homestead, I see.
Well, you gotta maintain it, especially out here. If you don't let or if you don't keep the cracks shored up, it'll be a month, maybe two, before you start having a draft, and then that draft turns into a leak, and then that leak turns into a problem. So.
Oh, I feel you. Wetter than a Louisiana whore, huh?
Sure.
Mr. Whitman. Such words.
But honestly didn't expect you all to come back. I expected you all to make your way out after this. I know you had said some things about maybe going to check out the other side of the woods, but it seems like you probably didn't, which is probably a good thing. Glad to see y'all are all right.
Nah, so far so good. We saw the house from afar, but nobody was in it or came out of it.
Well, as I said,
Figured,
it's probably for the best. This little situation out here, you're all strangers to it. There's no reason for you all to get involved, potentially get yourselves hurt. I'd
well, you
say it
mind if we
worked out
stick
for you.
around for lunch?
Oh, sure. If you would like, can I get y'all something, or you have your own?
If you don't mind.
Oh,
I-
certainly. He kind of climbs down. Fair warning, this is gonna be leftovers from what you all ate last night, but better than nothing.
That
That
would be
sounds lovely.
great. I say very energetically.
God.
I wasn't gonna make you guys do a deception check,
I did
but
good.
now I am.
I thought I did a good setup.
You did a great setup. Now you're making a deception check. I believe deception is just persuasion. I don't think there is a. Yeah, it's not. It's intimidation or persuasion. So I'm assuming you're trying to persuade him. But
Just
that
possible,
was.
right?
Yeah, no, just one of you was being suspicious. That was going very smooth.
JP is
And
not
then,
Smooth
and then
roll or just
JP
awesome?
winked really hard.
J- JP is not a great liar, and he's even worse under stressful circumstances.
I see.
As he's doing that, I'm fooling with my, because I noticed how he said it. I'm fooling with my rations. Oh, we've been just eating this damn.
I got
fucking bread.
a 6.
Oh God,
He just kind of
I
nods.
found out.
All right then. He starts whistling and goes into his cottage.
I look at the guys and I just kind of give him a thumbs up.
Oh God, stop
Nailed it.
Smack his hand away.
Yes.
Keep your head on. I'll go to tie up the horses.
Now here's a question that Brian doesn't remember. What did he feed you guys last time? Because I said it was leftovers, because that makes
Soup.
sense. I don't fucking soup. Cool.
And you were right. You said it takes 2 hours between their houses.
God, I'm good.
Oh yeah, remembering your own shit.
It's about a few minutes, presumably because he has to warm it. But he walks out with 3 bowls of soup, kind of waiter style, down his hand, and is just holding it with the other. So he walks over and he's like, yeah. He looks at JP kind of expectantly. Here you go.
Ah, yes, thank you. And when I get the soup, I turn away quickly, knowing that I'm being terrible.
Well, and he's offering it to you because you're the only one who can cross the, like, he's giving all 3 to you.
Ah, I turn back around.
Oh.
And then I
You're
grab...
the only one who can cross the property. You get it.
Yep, I get it now. I grab 2 of the bowls, and then I turn around and hand them to Mr. Whitman and Oliver Fairchild. And then I turn back around, and I guess before I turn around, since he's facing my back and I'm looking at them, I give him a wink as like a, this is when it's gonna happen. And then I turn back around, and then I'm like, thank you so much.
Bond. He's a Bond himself.
Thank you so much for giving us food yesterday and today. You have no idea how much we appreciate it, sir. And as I grab my other bowl, when I put... Cat, get down. When I put my hand on his shoulders like a thank you, sir, I will cast stun.
Okay. Give me your roll.
Spirit. No, it's faith spirit based off that. Cool. 6, reroll that. It will be an 8.
8. Okay, so you get it with the raise. So that means he needs to make a DC 6 check to avoid being stunned, and it's vigor to resist, correct?
Yes, it is a vigor check.
All right. What is? I should have been more ready for this. Okay, vigor. Okay, so he is not stunned. As you reach out, and I know it's subtle, but I really don't think there's a way to not, like, you try to do a magic on the guy. Like, he knows that just happened.
Yeah.
You you like put a hand on him as he's like going to hand you the soup, and that little pulse of magic hits, and you see like a look on his face of surprise, and then he throws that soup in your face.
Mm.
You know what? For the sake of it, we'll give you. That's not gonna break your toughness, but it's more the thought that counts. You take 2 damage because that soup's kind of hot.
Oh.
As he dashes that in your face. I don't think we're in initiative yet, but he is gonna make a break for his house.
Okay.
Okay,
Lasso's out.
lasso.
Okay, so you guys are pulling out lassos. I assume you are actually like pulling them out, like you didn't have them at the ready.
No.
Okay, so he's
Okay.
gonna get a good distance away as he's running.
JP, since I can't. We're not in combat, but I think we've tried this before where I can't technically do stun again for a second. I think we did that with the healing before.
I don't think there's any rule about you attempting stun again. It's just you're potentially burning through your you are burning through your magic point.
You know what?
Trying.
I'm gonna pull out my Colt, and can I do a call shot for the back of his kneecap? Or would that start initiative? I just want to take out the old man's leg.
I'm gonna say if you pull a gun, that's probably initiative. Like this is all good and fine right now, but the minute the gun comes out, I think it's go time.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do a common knowledge check on for JP.
Okay.
It's you know what? I'm not gonna use my other D6 because I'm jittery. I'm gonna see what happens here.
Okay, sure.
And if I don't do good, then I'm gonna say he just freaks out, pulls out his gun, and goes for the call shot. And Cat, get off of my desk. Well, I shoot him in the back of the leg.
Okay.
I crit failed.
So you were going for like a warning. You're gonna go try to shoot him. Okay, yeah, that's initiative.
Yeah.
That is initiative. He has fled roughly 30 feet back into his like. So to set the stage, you guys are on the edge of his property line, and his house is about 60 feet in. And he has ran about a movement's worth, about 30 feet in, to try to get away from. Well, fuck, he really doesn't know. This has just kind of happened. There's really no explanation for any of this. So, who would like to draw? Actually, no. I'm going to draw first.
Your job.
Aren't we gonna push him?
Our
That
job
seemed-
was to push. The
That
plan was
seemed
to
to be the
push.
plan. That seemed to be the plan, but it kind of fell apart.
Fell apart my ass.
Who would like to draw their action card first?
Quick Draw McGraw over here goes first.
Yeah, go ahead and draw me.
Okay, who after?
I'll go.
I guess me taking out Chance and me.
Okay, so this is actually fun. So the turn order, and I almost exclusively drew spades, which kind of wild. But the turn order is going to be, he goes first with the 10 of spades, followed by Mr. Whitman with the 7 of spades, followed by Ollie, or not Ollie, followed by wait, was that everybody? Did I draw one too many cards?
You didn't
No,
roll
followed
for
by
Harold.
JP, followed by JP with the 6 of spades. However, Oliver drew a joker, which means this round you have +2 to everything and go whenever you want.
I'll go first. Do
Will go
2
first.
actions to make a lasso, throw a lasso, so I
Okay.
can make it an even roll.
For sure.
Okay. What kind of check is it to lasso a boy?
The lasso, I'm gonna say it's just a thrown weapons check. So you need to make an athletics check in place of your shooting.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is the same as any kind of to hit check. You just got to hit 4.
All right, I got a 5.
Okay, yeah. Then you successfully. Well, if you have to make the lasso, did you make that at -2?
I took away my +2 for the Joker.
That's correct. Okay. Then yes, you do
I
hit
got you,
him
boy.
with the lasso. You're not going to get to pull him towards you this turn. You
That's
just
fine.
hit him with the lasso, and he is effectively entangled for now. So let me make sure I have the rules for entangled right before we go any further. If someone is entangled, they are vulnerable. Okay, they're vulnerable, distracted. Okay, cool. All right, you have entangled him. It's now his turn. I mean, I don't see any reason for him to do anything other than try to get out of this.
I would.
Yeah. I think what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to pull a pocket knife from his pocket, and he's going to try to cut this rope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an attack roll against the rope, and then we're going to set a damage threshold for the rope if he can hit it, which he does. That'll be a D4 for a dagger, technically, plus his strength. I'm going to say the damage threshold to cut rope is a 5. I think that seems fair. I don't actually have the rules for strength of items, but rope is rope. It should be less tough than a person. And he does meet it. So he is able to cut the first lasso thrown at him. And he still has his movement, so he's going to cut that lasso and he's going to move another 30 feet. And with that 30 feet, he makes it into his house, or at least to his stoop. He's not in the house yet.
Shit.
And I'm also going to say, for the sake of that, I think 60 feet is probably out of second lasso range for Mr. Whitman.
Oh, now I got 100 feet of rope.
You have to tie it to a degree. You have
I
to
got
throw
40.
it like.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. So that is him, and then that is Mr. Whitman's turn. He is now 60 feet. He is at his house. And you guys are all standing back as he is about to open his door and run inside.
I move behind a tree and pass.
Okay. You move behind a tree, pass your turn. Do you want to hold your turn so that you can come back in some other time in the initiative order if something transpires?
Well, I mean, no, because it'd be a new round of combat, right? Like, is that how
No.
that works?
JP
Okay.
still has to go. And JP Fairvely is the only one who can really do anything that you know of right now, because he can go into this dude's interior.
No, I just pass. I observe the situation. There
Okay.
ain't nothing that's gonna happen or I can do.
All right, JP, it's your go.
All right, I am going to do what I said. I'm going to do the call shot. Back of the
Okay, so
knee.
called shot to a limb is a -2.
Okay.
And then also he's 60 feet away. What's the range on your pistol?
I was going to move forward 30 feet.
Okay, you move forward 30 feet, so -2. And then there is, I think, and then give me 1 second. I gotta look at a thingy.
Yeah, the only thing I can do is kill, so blow his head up, you know.
Make this at -4.
-4.
Yep.
No, night gents.
Night.
Wait.
Yep.
This is okay. So roll the 9 -4 5.
Okay. You do hit him.
Okay. That's damage is 2d6. 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay. I'm not sure what his toughness is. Give us a moment.
Do call shots add any damage plus the 11?
If it was to the head, they would. But
Okay.
for the sake of a called shot to the leg, essentially he's going to make an additional vigor check, and if he fails it, he's not going to have movement next turn.
Gotcha.
Let me see something real quick. Where's my GM screen? Okay, so he failed it by that, so that's a wound and shaken. I'm going to soak it because I can. That's a 5 on that die. So he is able to soak it. He is not wounded or shaken, but now a vigor roll. Say the DC on this, since you did not get a raise, correct?
No, I only got a 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna say DC on this is just a standard 4 to see if he is hindered. That is a 4. So now you are not able to slow him as he runs to his house. You take a shot, and then you barely miss him, since that you did hit him. This dude is running to the door of his house, just full sprinting. He's going to grab it, and as he does, just you see his pant leg just kind of whiffed up in the wind as a bullet smacks through his door. And it's now Oliver's turn. Things have
God.
escalated. Things have certainly escalated.
I
What's
don't
the
have any.
move?
I don't have any good responses to this.
You want to just turn this dude's head into a canoe? We'll just blow this guy's
Apparently,
head off.
our fucking hypothesis can't be tested anymore. So we're gonna figure this one out the hard way. Holly will like throw his rope to the ground. What the hell was that? The plan was to push him.
Sorry.
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 Yeah, sorry, you shot a possibly innocent man in the leg.
The magic didn't work. I don't know what to do. The magic always
You said that
works.
the magic didn't work. You'd push him. Like any person can push. Well, you're the only one who can really fix this right now. So if he opens a window, which I doubt, because no sane man would open a window against 3 gunmen, I'd say it's up to you to go knocking. And Ollie will go to a tree and take out his rifle and pass turn.
Okay. It is his turn. He opens the door and moves into his house and shuts it behind him. You hear the distinct sound of a latch. Since you're close enough, JP. And that's his turn. That's what you all know that he has done. It is now Mr. Whitman's turn.
Well, this just got a little bit more interesting. Slowly unsling my rifle. Check the shells, make sure it's fully loaded. Go on, drag them out.
Drag him out.
Pass.
All right. Okay, so I remember from last week when we talked to the old lady, she said she's the one that put up the barrier around his house.
Yes, that is what she said.
Guys, did she say she used items to place the barrier? Like she placed things that made it? Do y'all remember?
Didn't ask.
Didn't ask.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
true.
ask.
Well,
I'm
darn.
just gonna throw them out, see if you catch them rated or not.
I was gonna try to, if I could find something, I could try dispelling it. We don't know though, darn. And it's immediately. Alright. His house is made of wood.
You gonna blow it down, Huff Puff?
had a different idea. So I could. Okay, so if I walk up 30 feet, that puts me near. That puts me on the porch, right?
Yeah, no, if you move up 30 feet, you're at the door.
All right.
I believe in you.
I guess I'm gonna ready 2 actions, but one of them probably won't happen because I doubt he's. No, I can't even get in the house. I moved all my movement. Let's see. Special effects. Push. Elements buff. Okay. So I am going to. Yeah, I guess I'll ready 2 actions. I'm going to use my elemental manipulation to do push. It allows me to push and move a target. My target's going to be the door.
Okay. All right.
And then if I see him when the door gets pushed down, and I'll do the negatives no matter what since I'm calling it, I'm going to stun him.
Okay. Okay. So the push on the door.
Yes,
Saw
so
Daniel's back.
so
Remember, we can put gifts in the chat so Austin can see it.
Oh, okay.
so that we can hear. Okay, so elemental manipulations thing is so pushes the caster uses his activation roll in place of strength for a push. The activation is
Yeah.
it'll
So,
act
I-
as a
I-
D6 strength or a D8 with a raise.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. So, this is now a locked door. That being said, you could still blow it open with force of wind. It's gonna take a bit of a shove on that part, though. I'm gonna say it's an 8 to push open a locked door with wind, because
Okay,
you're gonna have to break the latch with the force of this wind.
gotcha. Well, there's one other turn that I'll do something if this don't work. I get to reroll that. So 8 plus 7 is 15, minus 2 is 13.
Okay, that's that with a raise. So that means you get a D8 pushing power essentially.
That's what I get? Yeah, it says the caster uses his activation roll in place of his strength for
Okay,
a
so if you're using your
push.
activation roll instead of the strength, that means you rolled a 13 on your. Okay, sure. You blow the door open. His ready action goes off.
And I get blasted with a shotgun.
Would you believe it? But yeah, you do. That is a hit. Fuck, drop my fucking thing. Okay. You take 16 damage
Nice.
Ah,
as you open the door. A single barrel shotgun goes off.
Nice. Nice.
Sounds like time to use that chip that you got for that previously on.
Yeah.
mean,
Let me
what's that
tell you
thing?
what the damage is real quick. What's your toughness?
5.
So from 16, 5, that's 1 over. That's 3 wounds and shaken.
Hmm.
No, I'm
What
sorry.
the
I'm sorry. That's
heck?
exactly 2 wounds and shaken. That you're 1 short of that threshold. 1 wound and shaken.
Austin's dead.
I'm gonna die. Okay, I'm gonna soak that. Let's
Or
see if I
2. I'm
can.
sorry. 2. Jesus, 2 wounds and shaken.
Oh, I need something good. Because I've already used. Since I already used my wildcard dice on this spell, I don't get to
Okay,
use it on this,
no,
correct?
so the ruling for that, we were talking about that the other day and I looked it up. So the only time you have to pick if you use a wild card die is if you do an action that has multiple rolls to it. Like if you were to fire a Gatling gun where one shooting action fires 3 shots, you can only use your wild die on one of the shots.
Okay.
But any other time, like now, you still get your wild die.
Okay. Thank
That's Austin getting shot.
Ooh, I get to redo one, please. That is 11. 6
All
plus
right.
5.
With an 11, you soak both of the wounds and the shaken as the shotgun goes off.
All right. And then my spell to stun.
Okay.
Actually, well, he's using a shot. Is he within my? It's my smart, and my smart is a D8, so I'm assuming he's within range.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 100%. Remember that range is increased unless the 8 would be 8 inches on tabletop, which is actually 40 feet.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what I was thinking. I was gonna say I don't think he would have shot me from that far.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so based on the rules with the wild dice, this is a new action. Do I use the wild card dice
Yes,
on this one?
you get your wild die. You'll be a D8 and a D6 for this activation.
Uh,
That's awesome. All right.
Hooey. That's a 6 plus a 1. That's only a 7.
7.
So
Okay,
he
you get
doesn't.
it. You get it, but without your raise.
Yeah.
So this is a 4 up on his vigor, which he makes with a raise actually with that reroll.
I figured he would since I've heard multiple dice being rolled every time.
Yeah. I think that is effectively your turn.
That's my whole turn. All right, it's Plan B then.
What is Plan B?
No, no, no.
You'll
This is
figure
like
you'll
Plan
figure
A.
out when I get there.
I'm curious
Fuck it.
to what Plan B is. Yeah, that is back to the top with
I
all of
redact that last one.
Here we go. I'll redact it for you. Oh, I can't. Never mind. I was going to say I can actually, yes, I can. Here, let me redact that
He
for
already
you.
redacted
Yeah,
it. He already redacted it.
Oh, I still see it.
No, he redacted the one after that.
Oh, he had 2.
There have been a lot of memes posted.
Yes.
Oliver.
Ollie. So, deep sigh.
Gunfire is now being exchanged.
Yeah. Well. Oh well. I will use my movement to go around, like circle the house.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Can I see inside, or would I have to dash?
To get, since you're 60 feet away, it would probably take you a good 2 movements with a dash to get to the side where you know there's probably a window. Because you have to stay 60 feet out, and you're having to go around for a house that's kind of in the center. So in order to get that kind of angle you're looking for, it would probably take 2 turns of dashing.
Okay. Would it be any? Nah, I mean, I guess it'd probably be the same, just to try to shoot through the door.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then I'll just start moving for a window. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. It is his turn now. Well, this is like not great for him. But we're in it now, I think. So, let's see what he's gonna do. He is going to take his minuses to reload the shotgun.
Hmm.
So this next shot will be made flat without the +2 of a shotgun. As he puts 1 shell into his single shot shotgun and then looses it. That is a 5 on the die. That is another hit. So oh my god.
Austin's dead.
I love that you said that the exact same way.
Okay. You take 24 damage
Oh gosh,
Oh,
Dan's
goodness.
He's dead.
from this shot.
Oh my god.
This is a
That's called
colossal blast. One of my D6s exploded twice.
Hmm. Well,
24 damage. Okay, let's math this out to see what your prognosis is.
that's a 19 when you minus my 5 toughness.
Okay, so
It's like 5 wounds.
you're getting hit by Savage Worlds. This is what my bad guys feel like. Okay. So 11 is 2. Okay, so Austin, it is very important that you soak one of these wounds. You will take
Oh,
4
shit.
wounds and be shaken, which will
That's
blast
bad.
you straight to dying.
Yay.
Don't worry. You're good.
You very much need to soak one of these wounds.
We have 9 chips in total.
Yeah, I would really recommend doing that. Yeah, I hope I hope we reconsider some of the things that are happening right now.
Alright, here's the vigor roll. Oh, man. I get to reroll one of them.
That's great. I'm happy.
We're stressed. And that is 7.
7. You soak 1 wound.
So I'm
Uh,
3
me-
wounds and shit.
3
Oh,
wounds and shaken.
Use another Benny. I use my Benny.
Now
Reroll that shit.
I will stress 3 wounds and shaken is not incapacitated. It's the 4th wound that is the incap wound.
But he can soak everything, right?
I am not sure about the rules of how many times you can soak. Give me one.
I was
This
gonna
hasn't come up
say,
yet, so let
I
me.
think you can use as many as you want.
That seems like, since you're draining resources, that does
Exactly.
seem likely. But let me
I'm gonna
look.
say, let's double check.
Yeah, I want to. This figuratively, as this campaign goes on, combat should become more and more lethal. So this will likely come
Goes
up
on, it's
again.
about to end for one of us.
It very well might.
Well,
We need to
after
get
this
that.
blast,
New character just killed his old character.
he kills JP and joins the party.
As they do.
Man, aren't y'all glad you don't have that stick in the mud anymore? I want to
Okay.
be with you.
Soak rolls. Alright, after rolling damage, but before applying wounds, I'm just going to read this out loud so everyone hears it and double checks me if something sounds wrong. After rolling damage, but before applying wounds, a character may spend a Benny to make a soak roll. This is a vigor check, with each success and raise reducing the number of wounds suffered from that attack by 1. If the character soaks all the wounds from an attack, he removes the shaking condition as well. Don't count the wound modifiers he's about to suffer when making the roll. That hasn't happened yet. Characters can't soak more than once per attack.
Yep, that's what. So it can only happen once.
But may spend bennies as usual to re-roll the vigor check if they are not satisfied with the result. You could slot machine this and fish for a better result.
Okay, I'll soak another Benny.
Just to see if you can get higher than that 7. And remember, you take the highest, so
As long as
Unless
you
you
don't
crit
crit
fail.
fail.
yeah, as long as you don't crit fail, you take the
God, if he
highest.
does crit fail, he's
Actually,
dead.
if he crits fail, he's actually dead.
Yeah, if I crit
If
fail,
he
I'll just be
We just-
dead. Okay,
So if he
I
crit
had
fails, I'm gonna have to hurt him like badly
I
because
had
it's literally in his.
1/6.
Okay, that does not improve it, but
That one 10. 6 plus 4.
that one is technically 2 wounds. I don't know if you want to ride that train any higher.
I'm gonna stop there. I don't think I can roll any better.
Okay, so you were from that last shotgun round. You are 2 wounds and shaken,
Because I had 4 wounds, soaked 2.
and you soak 2.
Okay,
2
and I'm
wounds and
shaken. Cool.
Everybody, calm down.
Y'all watch as the buckshot just blasts through the chest cavity of Mr. JP.
Oh, no. Normally, when it comes to wounds, we don't really take bodily damage until it's like the killing wound. That one, you definitely took buckshot. Like, your right shoulder, you feel buckshot enter your right shoulder. And you guys see a slight spray of mist come out of it. And you know unequivocally that JD just got shot. Or JP.
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 Mm.
That's
JD,
his
baby.
turn. Actually, no, that's not his turn. He's going to retreat further into his house. He is going to go to his bedroom door, shut it,
Fuck.
and you hear the sound of a lash
Oh.
as he's going to retreat further into his home.
And Mr. Oliver's on the backside now. 'Cause-
Yes. Well, he's making his way.
Make
Like I
my
said,
way
he's
around.
got to move around the perimeter, so he can't just gingerly walk around the house. He's got to go with the trigonometry of all this shit, like 180 fucking feet. Like he's got to move.
Okay.
So with that, oh, I dropped a card. Oh man.
Can't
It is
burn
now
me.
Mr. Whitman's turn.
Hmm.
Mr. John H. Whitman is taking out a cigarette, lighting it.
Yeah.
Give him a Benny.
Yep. Take
Mhm.
your chip. Take your chip. They're called chips. God damn it.
I'm sorry, that one slipped. I actively
I know.
tried to
I
call
know.
them chips.
I know. I know.
All right, JP, get your Swiss cheese looking ass out of there.
Fall
Mhm.
back. Fall back. Fall back.
Take out my lantern, light it, and toss it on the house.
I like that you were with Plan B.
This is not Plan B. I laid out Plan A, B, and C.
Shh. I got scared.
You got scared before anything happened.
No, he threw soup in my face, and then I got scared. Then I shot him.
This is a reasonable escalation. Okay. So with any thrown weapon, this is a 60-foot throw. So,
Oh no! Please don't
Mr.
hit
Whitman?
JP.
I need you to make an athletics check at -2 to deliver it to its destination. The DC is 4.
Oh, that's
If you do not deliver it to its destination, there's a chance that it will go in a skewed direction.
And hit JP in the back.
Or the forest.
You got a 7?
7. You successfully deliver the lantern. You pull the hood back so the glass is exposed, and then with a flourish, you get that sort of like a shot put, like hammer toss throw, where you get a good spin in before you just hurl an 5-pound lantern 60 feet onto the roof of this house, and it tumbles down, shattering. And you do see fire start to break out on the top.
I take another drag. Hope this man is the evildoer now. I have my turn.
Right? It's JP's turn.
Hmm.
Mr. Whitman appears to have lit the house on fire.
Okay.
Or it's not on fire yet, but he is beginning to light the house on fire.
Okay. Okay.
No, don't BD6 this.
All right. Well, Mr. Whitman told me to get out of there, and spit out a mouthful of blood. And I look over and I say, "This was my problem. I need to find a way to fix it."
Oh my god.
And I take a I go off the porch. As I'm walking down, I have my Bible out, and it's kind of funny because where I conveniently opened, I'm just gonna start reading it. So pulled it up to Psalms. So we're gonna read this little chapter 22 right here. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted within my breast. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue sticks to my jaws. You lay me in the dust of death. For dogs encompass me, and a company of evildoers encircle me, and they've pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones. They stare and gloat over me. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. But you, O Lord, be not far off. You help. Come quickly to my aid. Deliver my soul from the sword, my precious life from the powers of the dog. Save me from the mouth of the lion. And as I do that, I'm going to cast Elemental Manipulation on the door the dude locked from inside the house to cast Attack as a fire spell on the door to catch the inside of the house on fire. and I will also afterwards cast heal on myself.
Okay. Give me 2 activation rolls at -2 each.
Alrighty. 1 second. Let me start subtracting some stuff. Manipulation is.
Oh, I'm sorry, at
Mm.
-4 because you have 2 wounds. Also, roll a shaken to see if you do any of this.
Oh yes, yes.
DC 4 vigor check, -2 on the roll because you've sustained 2 wounds.
10 minus 2, 8.
8, okay, you make it.
Alright, so
and
minus
then
4.
-4 on each of these activations.
Alright, so the first one I said I was going to do was the fire. So we're going to do that. Let me go back to my elemental manipulation. I get to reroll the 8. 8 plus 2 is 10, minus 4 is 6.
Okay, elemental manipulation goes off. You lob a fireball into his house.
So it does 2d4 damage to the target of the door.
I think, like, I assume you're just trying to light the house on fire. You're not actually trying to, like, blow the door open.
No, yeah, I'm just shooting it in that direction to make sure it
In
catches the
that
house
case,
on fire.
no need to roll damage. Like, you successfully have lit the house on fire.
All right. And then my heal, that's -3. And let me make sure. I think for every one, it'll be a single. Healing, wounds of less than an hour. Okay. Okay, a raise will remove 2, so I have to raise to get both of them gone.
Yep, -4 on this.
Okay. Get to reroll the d6. So right now it's not looking hot. So 11 minus 4 is 7. So I did not get the raise.
You did not get a raise. You
I
still
get
have
1 wound. Okay.
I legally have to vote in one direction here. I'm impartial. All right. With JP's turn, you see him walk away, Bible in hand, reading as he puts one hand on himself to heal, and then with the bloodied hand, he throws it back, and you see flicks of fire shoot off his hand into the house. Um, I believe that's back to Oliver's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I will dash.
Dash.
Yeah,
Okay.
dash to try and get around to get a shot.
Yep. Okay. You dash all the way around.
And if I have a shot, I'll take it with the -2 from the dash.
Okay. You're not gonna get a shot this turn because he moved into the back room.
Not a problem.
It's now his turn. His turn passes. Um. w- I think we may be in a more free flow period of this now. You guys tell me what you're doing, more or less, as we've kind of entered into sort of a siege period of this.
Trying to find his bedroom window.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk around, make sure there's no avenues he can jump out of. And as I walk past JP, I mumble Revelation 6:17. For the
Mm-hmm.
great
God.
day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll walk on.
Not I'm
Okay. The house starts to catch as you two round the corner, around the sides. Oliver, you don't see a bedroom window. It seems the only windows in the cottage are in the main area. Uh, no check really needed. Someone living this deep in the woods would not have unnecessary entrances where they sleep.
Or
So you guys round the corner and you don't see anything. As the house starts to catch more and more. Ugh.
does it seem like it'll spread?
It is spreading.
Like,
After
to the trees.
You can't tell yet. It depends on
Okay.
how high the fire gets. Right now, you can see it spreading into the main room and the bedroom, and the roof is starting to catch. But the roof is caught, and it's definitely billowing smoke. But until all the fuel that is the bottom of the house really starts to catch, uh, you can't tell because there are lower hanging trees over this, but they've been cleared to a degree to keep trees away from house to keep like a falling risk away, and also because a chimney would naturally produce smoke, and you don't want trees close to that. So you don't see an immediate risk, but if it becomes a full blaze, you may have to worry about it because it is summer.
Uh, then yeah, at that point, I'll continue like to circle back to until I see JP.
Okay.
Just kind of like watching the house. Preacher, grab those buckets. There's a pond. Point to where I talked to my sister. Down
Mhm.
that way. Make sure the fire doesn't spread. Clean up the mess, and I'll be back. I'm gonna go grab a horse.
Okay. You go to grab a horse. It's about 3 minutes later. You're going to get water, JP.
Yeah, I'll go and get water.
Oliver, you're going to get a horse.
Yeah.
What are you doing with the horse?
I'm gonna leave Harold. I'll take our other horse, and I'm gonna ride back to the old lady's house.
Okay. Um, sure.
And with
You
that,
you
I'm
take
gonna go
off.
pee.
Okay. You take off riding. We'll wait for Chance to get back.
Sorry, I'm about to bust
No,
a ball.
no, go pee. You go bust a ball. I'm gonna admit, boys, I didn't see it going this way.
Well, I honestly thought, since my strength is a D4, that stun would be a better option.
You know, I've been rolling pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That is definitely contributing to it. I feel like I'm one of you guys right now. I'm
Well,
rolling pretty
because
high.
I figured if stun didn't work, I'd only get one chance. I knew if whatever I tried didn't work, the dude was gonna run away.
Mhm.
I was just really hoping if he ran away and I had to do something else, it would work, and it has not.
I respect stun as a call. If it were me, and this is just Brian, just like if we're talking about, since this is a new system for all of us, I would have made that a double action. I would have made it a stun and a push, and just taken the -2 on each.
You
Like
know,
you're talking about one having a better chance than the other. Why not do both?
I didn't even think of it that way because I wasn't even
Mhm.
thinking of it in a combat setting.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, that's fair, but I really feel like if you're about to do something that's overtly aggressive, you need to be prepared for it to be a combat
Yeah.
type
Well,
deal.
I just meant I wasn't thinking in terms of like in combat having the
You,
multiple
you
actions. I was
you
thinking
didn't
it
have the
more.
you didn't have the tactic in your head at the moment
Yeah,
because you were still
in my mind, I was
yeah,
like, oh, this is just normal stuff. It's just gonna be normal like single rolls one at a time. See what happens.
hmm
I should have thought of it that way. Well, there's my worst for the night, boys.
You're worse so far.
Oh yeah, it could only get worse from here. There's more than one way JP could be lost tonight.
Possibly.
Could be a major sin happening here in a second.
This I think if this is a major sin, then it's already happened, buddy.
True. That's very true.
You're really rolling the dice on this guy being the bad guy. If he's not, that was a fucking doozy.
We just murdered a man.
Just goodbye, JP.
We're still not gonna know.
I mean, we will if the old lady comes after us afterward.
Yeah, I mean, why would she come after her? We freed her.
That's true.
We'll find out in many weeks, months maybe.
Any
Yep,
chance?
that force, the evil spread and started wreaking havoc across the entire mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I need chance to empty his balls. I'm chomping at the bit now.
Or the dude rises up like a demon.
Yeah, that's also very possible.
All right, I'm back.
Cool.
All right, you're back. Um, you ride off. Mr. Whitman, what was it you're doing during all this? You just smoking a ciggy, watching her burn?
Walking the perimeter, making
Yeah.
sure he ain't exiting out of any places.
Okay, so
Also
you're
maybe slightly dusting off areas, throwing sticks further into the forest so they can't catch shit like that.
that's fair. You are the closest to this. And JP's gone to get water, and Oliver's gone riding off. So you are the one who starts to hear screaming first.
I take another cigarette out.
As,
Thankfully, one of us is immune to war crime.
mhm.
Not
One of us is
immune.
used to it.
I wouldn't
Cuts
say
deep.
immune. Perhaps even vulnerable to war crime at this point.
Well, like I said, I'm backtracking used to it. I misspoke. You got me.
Yeah, but yeah, you start hearing screaming at about the 3-minute mark, and by the 5-minute mark, it stops.
Hmm.
As you guys gather around and watch her burn. How long are you guys sticking around for?
I'm gonna wait till Chance brings her back to hopefully dispel this thing so he can see.
Okay. You doing kind of suit, JP?
Well, I guess I've been just going back and forth with water. Since I wasn't there to hear the screaming, I'm not going to play on it unless Mr. Whitman's going to tell me he heard screaming. So I'm
Okay.
just, unless he tells me, I'm just going to be like, just acting on what I was told. I'm just going to keep getting water.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, you do that. I need a survival check from you two.
All right.
This is basically, for all intents and purposes, this is a fire management check. Eventually it does start catching on little bits of underbrush. But it's not anything serious. And essentially you're gonna be relying upon JP to get close enough to the house to put it out.
Gotcha.
I'm assisting with the 7.
Okay, so add +1 to whatever it is you do, JP. Your DC here is gonna be a 6.
All right. I rolled a 10, so +1 would be 11.
Okay, and that is that's a raise. So you're able to control the fire extraordinarily well. And I'll even say, since you're that close to working the fire, you don't see anything inside. Like as you can like get closer and look into windows, you're not seeing anything in there. As the house is truly ablaze now.
Hmm.
So I think this is like what you guys are doing. So, Oliver, you're riding back, on full gallop horseback, like not, you know, pushing Harold to his limits. It's maybe a 45-minute ride since you guys are being cautious your first ride. So if you're galloping Harold through the woods, you're moving at a pretty good pace. It'll be about 45 minutes before you get there. Um, you arrive back there at roughly 3 o'clock. As you gallop up
Okay.
and you see the old lady. I'm sorry, were you saying something? I think I got a little disco there for a second.
Oh, no. You're fine. I was just saying, all right.
Okay. Um, you arrive at her little hovel out there in the woods. She still appears to be tending her garden when you ride up. She turns and looks at you.
Hop off Harold and tie him up. All right, miss. Forgive me. I didn't get your name last time. My name's Oliver.
My name's Ollie or Ollie, Molly.
Whoa!
My name's Molly. That was a bad choice on my part. My name's Molly. Molly Graham. A pleasure, young man.
Pleasure. Well, I just wanted to let you know that we'd be heading out soon.
Oh well, that's fine. I'm rather glad to hear it, but at the same time, I can. She kind of looks past, and about 15 minutes ago, you became aware of
Yep.
a plume of smoke. I see you all made a decision. I cannot say that I agree with it, but I also can't truly fault you for it. I hope you all are okay with it.
Well, it didn't go as planned. I say that. It went poorly. I just wanted to try and pull him out of the circle. That's all I wanted. So I apologize.
She
It's,
kind of looks.
you know, but I did have a few other questions for you. For someone
Alright.
of your kind of gesture to the garden, your profession.
And what is it that you believe my profession to be there, young fella?
Kind of drop to a knee. Well, forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I believe that can see through the veil that is over this world. You're aware of the forces around us.
Mm, I may be. I've been known to take a peek, as they say. But I warn you, I'm not anything incredible. I just do what my mama taught me and what her mama taught her.
No, I have great respect for women like you.
That is a rarity, enough that you've at least managed to flatter some answers out of me for whatever it is you're looking for.
It's not my place to ask, but I want to see if you knew anything. You mentioned a charm of warding.
Hmm.
Did you have anything, well, possibly more potent?
More potent. I assume you're talking a portable situation? Something you could take with you?
Something I could take? Uh, Maybe if you had some kind of, possibly an elixir, one could take.
She just kind of looks at you for a minute. All right then. You see her just sort of reach over, and in a little like satchel at her side, she dips her two of her fingers into some sort of paste, you can't really tell, and she rubs them together before pulling it down your forehead and then looking at it for a minute. Hmm. All right. Give me a moment. I'll see what I can do. And she goes back inside for a minute. A few moments pass. You hear a little bit of rummaging in there. Um, and she walks back out, and she kind of has a bit of a perturbed look on her face. I've got something that may be able to help take the edge off of anything bad enough, but she kind of pulls out this sort of mossy almost flask that seems to be made out of like hardened leather with a little bit of twine wrapped around it. This is not a solution for anything really. This is the kind of thing that you might give a lady who comes a knocking saying that her kitty's sick. And she's not really sure what it is, but she needs a small cure-all. That's what this is. It might give you an edge.
An edge is all I can ask for, man.
Hmm. And she just kind of sits there for a minute. Now, here's the real question. As I was taught by my mammy and her mammy, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. What do you have to offer me?
Let me look. Hmm. All right. I'm not sure if you would have much use of it, but pull out the steel top. I have this. Kind of set it like I'm lining stuff up.
Okay.
Um,
Mm,
well,
don't suppose I've
since
ever
I just
seen.
found these, you might have an abundance, but pull out the yellowed canine that I pulled.
Mm, actually, I don't. And she looks at that. I don't know what this little contraption you have here is, but I do enjoy my trinkets. So I'll take it off your hands and ask for the teeth you have here. This place is a bit sick to a degree after what's happened, so these might give me a little more insight. I haven't really been able to get them myself. You understand the danger of such a thing. So I'll take both of these and consider it a fair trade.
The top, from what I understand, it raises the dead
Mm.
as much as
She
anything can.
she looks at it for a bit. Those are dark parlor tricks, but I'll see if it's of any value to me. And she puts them in her little satchel. You have my sympathies, son.
Thank you. You have mine. It wasn't supposed to end like this. I promise.
Understand. Now, I put those words around the house for a reason, and I expect them to stay up. I don't know what you all have done, or the manner of it, but leave them where they say. If there was something bad happening there, I'd prefer it to stay contained, even if the man is gone.
Yes, ma'am. I made sure that the other two made sure of that.
Alright, well, unless you have anything else from me that you need, you should probably get back to your friends before forest burns down.
Stand back up. Salute, ma'am.
She nods you off.
Thank you, Mom.
Best of luck. And she goes back to her garden.
Let's go, Hal.
It rolls.
Hello.
Alright. 45 minutes later is how long it'll take you another 45 to get back, which will edge this a little further into about nearing the 4 o'clock hour. The fire has gone on pretty hard, you two back there. But this is a small house. Uh, it's burning down a little bit, but it's still hot and burning. As you guys do anything else in those 45 minutes? You got it pretty well under control since the ground fire is mostly contained and anywhere around the house itself has been burned, and with that raise you've kind of made a fire line around it. There's nothing to really contain anymore.
Okay. I guess after it's been burning for a good minute, and after I've contained the way around it, I'm gonna look at, or I guess I'm gonna find where Whitman is outside the circle and try to figure out if he's seen anything. Let's see. I'm gonna run up. Mr. Whitman, have you seen anything? Has he even tried to come out?
I'll light another cigarette. Screams were about 30 minutes ago, I reckon.
What?
I guess we started
At this point, they're probably more than an hour ago.
an hour ago. They just decided.
Okay. Well, that's gonna make Mr. JP very worried. So I guess I'm gonna try to run to the front of the house again. My butt might be trying to go in there.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm going to use and I'll use it as many times as you want me to. I'm going to use elemental manipulation to Doesn't say.
Now, as you're doing this, do I see him walking towards the front of the house with a Bible, presumably? In his hand?
I mean, I don't see any reason why, unless he's trying to sneak. I don't see any reason you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Gotta
You
go
ain't
in.
thinking about going in?
Gotta
No,
go in
you ain't.
after him.
I charge him.
You're in.
You-
I'm inside the circle.
I was gonna
I
say,
charge you.
give me a spirit roll as you hit the boundary of the property.
You got a 3.
Okay, for you the DC was 20, so you didn't quite make it. You didn't crit fail though, so you don't catch on fire this time, but you do. You run and you see JP ahead of you. You see him walk, and you just instinctively run to catch up with him. And as you see this open air in front of you, you collide with a wall that you can't see and don't know is there. As you bounce back, as it's like you just ran headlong into a brick, just a brick face. You're gonna take a little damage, but I don't think it's enough to really break your toughness. It's not. That's a 6.
Ah, damn it. Get fucking back here, damn it.
Both of you take a chip. I like it.
No, this is my problem, and like Mr. Whitman said, it's my job to fix it.
The
And-
problem's been fixed. Get your ass back here.
Problem's been fixed.
I start getting my lasso.
Oh, get him! Get him!
I feel like this is a chips on the table moment. I think everybody sees what everyone's about to do. He's about to rope you.
I mean, I'll start walking more backwards, and I'll try to dodge as he tries to rope me.
Okay, so okay,
But I'm walking towards the front.
we're testing Brian's knowledge of what you can do in this game.
Actually, instead of dodging, I'll use elemental manipulation to push air to push the lasso away back towards him.
Alright, fucking
Okay.
airbender.
So he starts airbending, and I think that in of itself is kind of an effective defense against lassoing.
Do you want me to roll? Let me roll my. See
I
if I
want you to
crit
roll
fail.
to see if it. Yeah, just roll to see if it activates. But if it does activate, I honestly don't think there's anything Mr. Whitman can do with the lasso because a strong wind blowing against a rope, like that's just physics, honestly.
6.
Yeah, you throw the lasso, but you can't. It is blown back towards you.
Okay, that's -1 again.
As with his movement, with that, you're able to move past the range of what he can lasso.
Alright, so I've got 11 points left. And I'm thinking, because the house is still burning, so elemental manipulation can do the attack, and it can use all 4 elements. It can do the push, it can do the move. And then it has like the special effects version where it's like moving things with GM's approval. My idea was to use the push as more of a special effect, just to try to like keep the flames pushed away from me.
You want to try to make a wind tunnel for you to walk through.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so I will say you can go into the house, and then for each turn, I'm going to make you cast it again.
Okay, so turn 1.
And that being said, this is not going to absolve you of all damage. This is going to keep you from catching on fire. You are still walking into an oven.
Yes.
No matter how much you keep the actual flames off yourself, you are still going to be burned going into this.
Okay.
I just want you to be aware of that.
Okay, so yes, that works.
Okay.
It's time
Go
to.
ahead and
My butt's gonna start
give me an
running.
activation. Yeah, give me your first activation as you make it to the remains of the door.
8 plus 6, 14.
Okay.
Do I need
so
to
with
take
that
any
14
minuses since I'm gonna be doing this over and over again?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, you still have one wound, so -1.
-1, 13.
Yeah. Okay, so 13. You get it with the raise, so I'm gonna say you're even able to stave off damage on this first turn,
Okay, so
as
now
you
I'm at the
are able
door.
to using a manipulation of wind to make essentially an outward pushing of air to create a tunnel for you to move through. You are able to take steps into the house. What are you trying to do?
I need to bust through that door.
Oh, that door is
So-
gone.
Oh, the
That
door's just
door-
gone. Okay, so I can run through the entrance of the door.
No, a portion of the house is collapsed.
Oh
Back there, you
no.
see where roof ties have fallen.
Okay.
You can go ahead and give me a notice check. You're not very close yet, so this is a pretty difficult notice check. This is going to be a DC 12 notice check
As
because
if
it's
I'm
very
gonna find
smoky, a
anything.
lot of fire.
Oh. I need to make this one more time. Nope. Miss it with a 10.
I just saw Daniel's gift. Yeah, you do not quite see it. You are able to progress further in. You're not moving at full speed because you are having to really focus on this.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to get like halfway across the room. Give me another roll.
For notice?
Yeah, no, another activation
Oh,
roll.
another activation
As you
roll.
have to roll again, you're getting deeper in.
Writing. 6.
6. Okay, it activates without a raise. So here comes heat damage.
Okay.
I want to say heat damage at this stage is 3d4. That's 9 damage.
All right.
Which will leave you shaken, I think. No, you have 4 toughness.
5
5
toughness.
5 toughness. That's shaken and a wound.
Okay, so I go to 2 wounds. That am I allowed to? Since it's not combat damage, are you allowed to absorb?
Yes, you may soak, and I'll also warn you, getting shaken in this scenario is quite bad. If you lose your cool here, and that shaken prevents you from taking another action, you aren't going to be able to hold fire back anymore.
Yes. Okay. So then I will soak one of my bennies.
Okay.
Vigor check.
Now, remember, this sort of soak damage, you're not going to be able to get rid of your shaken with this. Because the only way to get rid of a shaken on a soak roll is if you remove all wounds, and you've already have 1 wound sustained, and you cannot remove it with the soak.
Yep.
So you will not get rid of your shaken this turn, regardless.
It'll just be to not take the 1 wound.
The max you can get rid of is 1 wound. Raises don't matter.
Okay. 4.
Okay. You soak 1 wound. You're still at 1 wound and shaken.
Shaken.
Very important roll now. At -1, I need you to make a vigor check to get rid of shaken. If you cannot get rid of shaken, you are going to be standing in the middle of a burning house with no protection.
Yay. 5 minus 1, 4.
Okay. Give me that activation again. And you are able to push more towards it. You are at that door frame now. So after you get this activation, you're going to get a notice check. Let's see what the activation is first.
7.
7. Not a raise, but you do hold back the bulk of the fire. You take 14 damage from the heat.
Okay.
As it starts to come in harder on you.
Gonna soak, and no matter what, I'll be shaken again.
14 damage will be
2 wounds. Because -5.
Yeah, -5. That's 9. It will be 2 wounds and shaken. And remember, you're still making these at however many wounds you have. So remember to subtract 1 from this vigor roll. This is fucking tense, boys.
Plus 5 is 11 minus 1, 10.
10. Okay, that's with the raise. You're able to soak both of these wounds.
But it's shaken.
Still at 1 wound, but shaken. Give me a
Okay.
notice check. This one's significantly easier at 6.
But technically 7 because I have -1.
But technically 7 because you have -1.
I got a 7 minus 1, so 6.
Yeah, 6 exactly. With some of the roof caved in, you're able to see a charred corpse. With like beams that have fallen on top of it in what appears to be the bedroom. It looks like he was maybe underneath a bed when the roof collapsed in. He likely caught on fire before that, but now the roof has collapsed down on himself in the bed. But you can see like the upper bits of the torso hanging out.
Darn it, so even if I tried, I probably wouldn't even be able to get his body out. because he's underneath
I-
all that stuff.
You could try, but it would take a Herculean effort in the middle of an inferno.
And I only have a D4 strength.
I can tell you that you can try as your GM. As your friend, I'm going to tell you it will probably kill you if you try to get him out of there.
No, there's nothing I can do at that point. So, depressed, hating himself. Um. Oh,
It's fine.
You got like 2-3 turns to get out of the house. Remember that.
No. He can do a full sprint to get out of the house since he's not
Oh,
trying to
okay.
look anymore.
Okay.
If he's gonna need one more activation to get out, and he's probably gonna take heat damage, but you need to get rid of your shaken first. Again, this shaken is extraordinarily dangerous. So what I'm gonna need from you now is to get rid of your shaken, and then after that, I need you to make one more activation roll, and then presumably dash. And since
Dash
you'll be
out.
dashing, remember -2 to that roll. So first step, see if you can get rid of your shaken, -1 for your vigor.
5 minus 1, 4.
Okay, you are not shaken. Give me an activation roll.
4.
4. Okay. You take the heat damage. The heat damage seems blessedly more kind this time. 6.
6 minus
So
5
you,
is 1.
yeah, so you are shaken, but you still get your action. So you dash out. Mr. Whitman, you kind of watch hat pulled off, waiting to say words about how JP was a good man who made a bad decision. When you see a smoke clouded, sooted JP dive out of the front door, you see there are singes on the sides of his coats and on his boot cuffs and his sleeves, and he's coughing up a lung, and his face is blackened from all the smoke inside. But he is alive as he dives out the front door.
Good. You
I'm
can
gonna
tell
say
Oliver about this.
I'm gonna say about 10 minutes later is when Oliver finally comes a riding up.
I'm gonna say that JP spent the remainder of any time attempting to put out the fire on the backside of the house.
Okay, containing a fire is one thing. Putting out a fire with the little resources you have, I will say it is strictly possible. However, the DC is going to be 17.
I am 100% ready to fail this.
Okay? I mean, it's futile, but we may be at that point now.
What
I think it's
Don't
more of
crit
an
fail.
what check are we going for?
This is survival.
Survival check.
Don't crit fail.
I jump into
In
the
regards-
flames, peace signs
In
out.
regards to how this has gone, boys, I can really only sum this up with one gif.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, she's smiling in that. No,
I haven't stopped smiling, if that makes you guys feel better.
that's nice.
That's 1-6.
Because I feel like I have been able to pretty accurately predict most of what's happened in these sessions. This is novel. I was not expecting any
No.
of this, so I'm happy.
That's fitting. I got a 15. Close,
You,
but so far.
Mr. Whitman, you watch JP like a madman, like truly putting forth an effort that is worth 3 men trying to put out this fire. But it is truly man versus nature. He cannot subdue this roaring flame. And by the time Oliver gets back, it's already starting to die down a little bit to where you're not even sure if it matters if he puts it out. Whatever he's trying to do is probably past.
Welcome back, Oliver. You ain't gonna believe what just happened.
I don't believe what's already happened.
This damn fool just ran into that house. Almost got himself killed again. And there he's been working like a madman trying to put the fire out. Why did he run into the building? Beats me.
You got a spare cigarette left?
Yes, I do. I'll
Thank you,
take one
kindly.
as well.
So I guess we're just gonna watch and wait till this fucking thing is done. Till JP's haggered himself out, and then we can decide if we're gonna make camp right here or if we're gonna.
Well, we're probably gonna need to make a camp, 'cause he's done used all his little witchcraft.
Well, he still has some. And
Besides,
since
just walk in there. He's probably immune to the hellfire.
I wouldn't say that much.
no, and because I've been trying so hard to put the fire out, I'm gonna say, being weakened, I'm gonna use. I would have used 3 of my last 4 points to cast healing on myself to give me the energy to attempt to put the fire out in time.
Sure.
Which I would have.
Sure.
I still failed no matter what. That is the biggest load of crap I've ever seen in my life when I rolled an 8 and a 6 on healing myself. Where were you when the world was burning last, Charles?
Shame.
The world's still burning for that man.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think it is anymore.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, Mr.
So-
Woodman, you want to go ahead and set up camp, or you
Yeah,
want to try and get a few
Oh.
miles down the road?
A fire may scare off any animals that's around here.
All right. I'll get started on that.
All right. A campsite is made. While camp is being made, does anyone else do anything else? After about 2 hours, the fire has smoldered and the house is mostly collapsed.
As we're laying out everyone's bedrolls and setting up like a camping fire and all that, and tending to the horses, I'll warm up our bowls of soup. The twos that weren't spilled.
Shane?
I'm going to say JP comes much later. And if we set up camp a couple miles away from the house, he's going to have kept himself distanced from his companions.
No,
He'll-
we set it up beside it.
Right beside it.
Yeah.
Well, then, even better. He's just gonna stand there looking at the smoldering house, not even lay out a bedroll,
hmm
and I'm gonna refuse to eat tonight.
Okay.
Okay. You two indulge in some of this soup and get ready for bed. Need both of you to give me a bigger check. Hello?
15.
15. Okay. Mr. Whip?
4.
4. Okay. As you guys sit there, eating this soup, Oliver, it tastes just slightly different from the last time you had it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Give it a
And
good
just as
sniff.
this, and just, yeah, you take a deep sniff, and there's something added to this, you're not sure. And just when you kind of trying to place it, Mr. Whitman face plants forward.
God
Damn it, he owed me a story tonight.
As he falls forward into the soup.
pull the bowl away,
Mm-hmm.
throw it into our fire.
Yep.
Yeah, guess that means you deserved it.
You reach
Kick
over,
back.
put 2 fingers on Mr. Whitman's neck. Heartbeat. Okay.
Hey, kill a man. I'm done.
He is just unconscious.
Why you're sad of the dude who tried to kill me?
Don't worry, we got him.
Yeah, there ain't much left of him anymore.
Are you sad about it?
I'm not over there by you, remember?
I ain't telling him. I'll tell Whitman in the morning.
This is me right now staring at a burning house.
But yes, as Mr. Whitman goes to bed early,
Took him in.
you are left there as JP stares at this cindered house, and you're left alone at the campfire. The night passes on. Do either of you two do anything else before the night rolls into deeper territory, perhaps even into watches? Though I suspect JP will be holding vigil the majority of the night anyhow.
JP does not sleep all night.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Oliver.
I'll do 2 watches, and then I'll get just enough sleep to not be exhausted. And
Okay.
I'll watch the the path we came in on, and watch the moon.
Yes. The moon is lovely. It's about that 3/4 phase. It's peeking through the
Beautiful.
cloud every now and then. The cloud cover's starting to break. It's a nice night. The world is good.
The world is good.
The world
Faith
is
in
great.
humanity.
It's wonderful. Your watch goes by uneventfully, both of yours. JP, I need you to give me a vigor check for fatigue.
I'll wake up to a bitch of a spirit roll too.
Okay, 11.
11. You're able to hold for a good portion of the night. Essentially, mechanically, once it hits about 3 a.m., you should be making a vigor roll every hour. Will you let yourself go to sleep at any point, or are you just fully fighting it?
I'm not going to sleep whatsoever.
Okay, I'm gonna say 4 vigor rolls in a row. Tell me
Okay.
if they're gonna be in ascending order, so I have the DCs ready as they go.
Okay. First one's a 5.
Okay.
Second one's an 8.
Okay.
Third one is a 6.
1 point of fatigue.
1 point of fatigue.
-1 to rolls.
Mm-hmm. Crit fail.
2 points of fatigue. -3 to all rolls.
I'm pretty sure after -2 aren't I incapacitated?
No. Wounds and fatigue aren't the same.
Okay.
You get 4 points of fatigue just like wounds, so you are essentially sitting at -3. If you try to stay up any further, you will be incapacitated.
Okay. So I just need to roll with a -3 now? Or just
If
or just
you're
accept
if,
that I'm gonna pass out.
if you're just trying to like ride this whole thing down and you're just like not going to, then I'm gonna say you pass out.
Alright, JP passes out.
Hmm.
You just see JP go from standing to falling flat.
At this point, you're the only one still awake, so you just fall off.
Yeah, no, I'll
Eh.
kick back. I'll take another cigarette. Peaceful
Take
up
another
here.
cigarette.
So
Yep.
you have no wounds right now, right, JP?
That is correct.
So mechanically, from you're at -4 fatigue right now. when someone does a medicine check to wake you up, you're going to go down to -3, and then every day you can take one off as long as you get rest.
Okay.
If you at any point go to -4 and like someone can't medicine you awake, it could get bad. So we're just gonna cross that bridge when we get to it.
Sounds good.
So one or both of you are making a medicine check in the morning that has consequences.
All right. I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Go pee.
So how's everyone doing?
I'm having a blast.
Lad, how are you?
Oh, I'm knocked out.
You,
I want to be.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't expect you guys to go back to the soup.
I thought. I mean, we had. I had to.
I had to know.
Well, I mean, I had a strong suspicion, but I thought it'd be pretty
At least we
pretty
got it.
funny if it was like, well, we're gonna have like a cooked dinner. Not you. You did stuff. The plan was push. You said turn once. I'm gonna kneecap this man.
At least we got our answer in the end.
That escalated
Really?
quickly.
That
That
is
really
just
got out of
putting
hand.
it. That's just that doesn't do it justice. So much more.
That escalated quickly.
The first-hand experience in murder hoboing.
That got out of hand.
Yeah, Brick killed a guy. There were horses and a man on fire.
And Britt killed a guy.
I meant it whenever I said gonna wake up to a bitch of a spirit roll. Mr. Oath Boy.
See, here's the thing about that. Now he's not going to wake up. You guys are gonna have to do some stuff to make sure that he gets to wake up again.
I get him up.
No. He's at -4. You guys can effectively stabilize him. He's done for the day.
That's fine. He needs to be done for the day.
He's done for the day. You guys are gonna wake up to him being done for the day.
I'm leaving his ass.
We're gonna go grab Molly. She's our new teammate.
Yeah.
All right, JP is back.
JP has returned. The morning rolls around. I need a vigor check from Mr. Whitman. This is less of I wake up. This is more of a hangover level.
I believe in you.
9.
Look at him.
You got a relatively good sleep last night. You don't even remember going to sleep last night. You kind of lift up, look around. You're in your role. You don't remember getting in your role, but you must have. But you're relaxed. You wake up. Nice. Your back doesn't even hurt. No stiffness. You just kind of shake it off a little bit.
Man, I'm hungry though. I haven't eaten in feels like 2 days.
That soup didn't
Make
hit
some
the way you thought it would.
I hate soup.
How dare you? Your soup is
you you start to wake up. Oliver, you see Mr. Whitman waking up. Both of you give me a notice check. DC4. It's the easy one.
JP's unconscious body is being eaten
I
by
got 4.
wolves.
4. Yeah.
I got a 4. Or
Okay,
I got a
now-
6. I'm sorry.
I have a real important question for you, Austin. How close were you standing to the house while you were watching it?
Probably about. It was still smoldering at some point, so to not feel the heat, maybe 20-ish feet away. Close enough to be like there, but not close enough to be like in the heat of that big of a thing that was burning.
Okay. So JP's about 40 feet away from you guys, which we have established is maximum lasso range, so that's good. But you both see JP face down in the dirt in front of this place.
Is he alive? He done got himself killed after all that.
No, I think he's just knocked out.
Arr.
Oh, here. If you want to work on breakfast, I can work on trying to get him back.
And I don't know how fatigue and those types of things work, but while I was waiting through the night, I know the idea of like regaining power points if you don't do anything. I'm gonna say I was actively doing something the entire time, like forcing
no.
myself not to.
We
You
know
were fighting
he
fatigue
dead.
checks. You don't get power points back.
Cool. I wanted to make sure I didn't.
But he's unconscious. I'm gonna say no checks needed. You guys will eventually hook his boot and can pull him back. You reel him in, and you can tell that he just fell from exhaustion. Um, Mechanically, I was thinking that there might be a risk of like medicine checks here. There's not, since this is a night's exhaustion. This essentially bumps and bruises fatigue. This isn't like
Okay.
actual like day fatigue. If this had been like travel fatigue, where he would have risked taking 1 a day and had taken 4, he would have been at risk of like death. But since this is travel fatigue, essentially you guys are going to make a medicine check here, and the degree of how well you do is essentially how soon he will be able to wake up and
All right.
remove his -4 to reduce down to a -3.
All right. Glad you or me.
And I've also thought about this, Austin, since this was one night. Whenever you get a full long rest, you'll get rid of all 3 of them. It's just today you're going to be running at -3.
Sounds good.
I guess me be alright.
All right,
Crit, fail, crit, fail.
shoot him.
Die. Ah, die. This is
Wait,
a gun.
I put him to sleep. You told me to put
4.
him to sleep. 4. 4 is an average check. He clearly exhausted himself. He needs rest, but he can probably wake up in 5 hours. So, it's one of those things. If you guys want to travel, you can, but someone's going to have to essentially ride with him in front of them and full on, hold him into a saddle.
I'll
No,
do that.
I'll lasso him up.
Oh, you're going to
and
hog
yeet 'em
tie?
over- And yeet him over the my saddle.
I was gonna say he's gonna drag me from behind this forest like I deserve.
Jesus. All right, this is dark. Okay. You sling him over the back of your saddle,
Oh no, I
bounty
don't.
style. Oh, you don't?
He's in the middle of the circle. I ain't
No, we
picking
got
up
him
shit.
out. We pulled
Yeah,
him.
You
no,
got him.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just lasso him and put him over.
you drape him over the back of Harold. Do you wait? Do you
No,
ride Harold or does Oliver ride Harold?
no.
I do.
Yeah, Mr. Whitman rides Harold, the deaf with the deaf,
Yes.
and I'll take the unnamed horse, and we'll drape JP over the good horse.
Okay, cool. That's fair. Don't want to overweight Harold.
No, Harold doesn't
That's
deserve
fair.
that.
That's fair.
All right. What's the plan, boys? We moving on?
Yeah,
I reckon we are.
ride north.
All right. You start riding north.
Take one last look at the smoldering house.
You see still
Out of
some smoke
ashes.
rising as you put it to the past. As you move forward, the day is dreary. That sense of foreboding that the mountains have instilled in you remains, and perhaps the somberness of the night and some of the wet work that got done yesterday puts a gloom on the day as you all ride. Um, a little after noon, JP, you flutter awake. You are bouncing in a saddle behind Oliver as the boys are clip clopping north with you in tow.
Okay. I'm just gonna groan away. Just where are we?
Back on the road to Springfield.
Should have left me behind.
Reckon that wouldn't help anybody. You just enjoy the ride, and I'll let you know whenever it's time to make camp.
All right. You all ride along. You take a pretty decent pace. You guys are at the point now where you're approaching the peak of the mountain. It's not long into your day before you hit that one taller peak where you see over, and you realize, like, you get that idea that you are now on the decline. That this is the point in your journey where you are going to start heading down the mountain. And presumably after that, onto the woodland and much flatter area that is southern Missouri. Well, you presume you're already in southern Missouri. Once you get a little further into central Missouri, it should flatten out a little bit. But the day goes on until eventually you all are able to sit down and make camp. As a fire gets started and victuals get cooked. You guys talking about anything?
What's JP doing? I think that's the big one.
JP would have been silent just about all day. And then I guess setting up camp, I'd set JP's gonna set his bag over by the horses. His bedroll.
Kind of like look at Whitman. What do you think? We bring this up, or we give it some time to think?
Bring what up?
Fair enough. But in that case, kind of poke our little campfire. I reckon you got a story for me, sir.
Yes, sir, I do. Sitting here. Well, yeah, I just sitting here. We on the outskirts, and the house is on fire. And JP just runs in there.
No.
Try
Before
to throw
that,
my lasso, and he
let's
just
talk about the other fire.
nah.
The
I'm
one that
not.
was on that boot.
I ain't tracking. What you mean?
I mean, whenever you went to go walk through that ward, you lit a flame.
Nah, I think that was just a coincidence. Hit
You
of the
clearly seem to
head of
be, what,
sun.
you cursed? You damned? I wouldn't reckon that you're possessed, are you?
Mm, want to see.
You said you'd tell me. We just got caught up in this nonsense.
Well, maybe a combination of the three. A
I don't
slight
want this.
combination of the three.
Well, come on now.
Take off my duster as I'm talking. Well, something happened to me back in that accursed jungle. I don't know what. Can't tell you. I think it has something to do with this here dagger. I don't know. What I do know is when I woke up from being in a coma, hole in my chest, it didn't quite heal. It just sat there festering like can't distinct. And it wasn't that stink that comes from wounded men. If a leg shot off or arms or nah, stunk like a dead man. Mm-hmm. He was right. Couldn't quite stand it. The smell calmed down a little bit. Kind of hid behind some clothes. Never quite went away. But I knew something was off. That's when I started my little adventure. I left Marianne back at hometown. Start undoing my shirt, and well, came to realize that I was growing. The dark, the black, like veins, like a spider web coming out, like a black widow, ready to eat its prey, to eat my soul. Hmm. And I reveal a gaping hole with like black veiny tentacles reaching out of rotting flesh.
The hell,
I
Whitman?
was, I'm either a dead man or I'm dying. I think the former. Just don't know it yet. However, there's something else. You see, Miss Mary Walker sent her running after that demon. There ain't no demon out there anymore. I know exactly where it is, and I point to my chest.
As you do that, Mr. Whitman, only you see this as a face kind of curls around to look at you. I expected a secret to last longer.
Well, you expected wrong there, miss.
He says that to no one.
I say it to everyone.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling them what they hear.
Oh, okay.
As she just kind of smiles coyly at you and just brushes her face against hers as she disappears behind you again.
As she does that, I use my gallows humor and affect and smile right back.
Mechanically does nothing, but yes.
But yes.
Mechanically intimidates her, makes her scared.
No.
Well, so possessed, in a manner of speaking.
I got a hold of it, so you ain't gotta be scared. But my whole venture is to find a cure for this. Reprimand my sins of the past and wrongdoings I've done, and get back home. Live an easy life that I feel like deserved. Maybe not deserved. Maybe I ain't deserved anything. Maybe this is hell right now. Maybe you're just a figment of my imagination. I don't know.
I don't think we're there yet. But nah, sounds like you've been through it. You have my sympathies. No one should have to go through all of that.
I don't need your sympathy, sir. But your understanding and your continued fellowship would do me just right.
No, I'd be more than happy to help you see this through. So you said what made that hole? A bullet? Arrow?
Mm, it was an arrow we were fighting the locals down in South America. I believe it might have been a local that was angry about us, about my company. We raided a small village. Didn't take much. My men may have, but I did see a shiny dagger, and mine was chipped. It wasn't too good. And, well, I wanted to take it to remember it by when I got back to the States. Uh, but I keep having these dreams about running through a jungle. I don't know. Maybe it's linked, maybe it's not. Beats me.
Well, if anything, Mary said she was going to meet up with a colleague of hers who was of the magical variety, and they might even be able to pick up the trail and lead her back to us.
Mm, I doubt it. 'Cause right now it's contained. So as long as it doesn't get out, it shouldn't cause any harm. So there'd be no tracking.
Springfield's a big city. Maybe we can get some answers there.
That's what my hope is. And with that, I turn, sit down on the tree, and stare off at the moon.
Daniel, take a chip for revealing both of your secrets.
Only one.
Yeah, only one.
Remember what I said, Austin? About what you said in the beginning of this? And watch that rapture of yours.
Oh,
Did JP hear any of that?
nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Probably for the
That's
best.
good.
JP,
Hmm.
where's your head at?
You know,
Talk to me.
somewhere around the 6th or 7th level of hell. Uh, JP is still one because he has no idea that old dude was actually going to try to poison everyone. So I'm still just trying to deal with the idea that to me, I killed an innocent man, but I can still feel the power of miracles in me. So I'm self-conflicted because to me, I'm like, I shouldn't be able to do this. I'm not worthy of it because I killed an innocent person. My mistakes did that, and I thought too rashly. I put my team in jeopardy. My two friends probably hate me for being an idiot. Just a lot of self-loathing inside JP right now.
With the him being innocent, like we were thinking he was the bad guy.
I mean, yeah, you guys
Well,
were under an impression
the
that he was
suspicion.
likely.
Yeah. We came the last session. We said that like this is a bad dude. Let's.
yeah, okay. So I'm going to not into the assumption that he was innocent. We were going to go confront him to figure things out. So my idea, or JP's idea, is he wasn't a good person, but he may not have been wholly evil either because we never got to do the interrogation.
Didn't get confirmation.
Yes, so there's still the chance that
So, I think. So JD's or JP. I work with a lot of people named JD, and it fucks me up when we do this. But
good.
JP is sitting there thinking. I feel like he's had a lot of spirituality in his life, and right now he's looking kind of glum on it. So I'm thinking about a bit of a flashback here. We're gonna
Okay,
kind of wind back the clock 5 or 6 years.
gotcha.
You remember a time you're on a farm in northern Georgia. Uh, a simple one, not a plantation, not a massive growing operation of any kind, no huge herds of cattle or of goats. Just a simple family farm that feeds a simple family, a man and his wife. Um, you're in the backyard. Uh, there are little sticks holding up some tomatoes, and there's a little dog, like a little beagle, standing next to you. And you hear a voice say, "All right, now, you ready to try?" He nods to you, and you watch as Bill throws a length of rope, and the dog runs after it to fetch it. "Stop him now! Stop him!" And you raise your hand to attempt to stun the dog. And you can't quite get it. It's alright. It's alright. No one ever gets it their first few times, and you're on your way. You're on your way. He walks over, he beckons you to sit down. You have a sit down. I know it's hard after everything you've been through, and then come to terms with what you can do, not being able to control it. But that's part of the gift, I suppose, is learning about it, understanding it. How you feeling with all this? I know it's a lot to take in.
Okay, so 5 or 6 years. That's gonna be. Sorry, I'm going back at JP's background. So that puts him at like 26. Okay, so this would probably also, because he became a preacher at 22, his wife would have only been dead a couple, would have been in between that timing. It might even be pretty fresh, so this would probably be stinging a little bit more, so. Okay. I just don't get it, Bill. Why why do we have this? Why do I have this capability when it never works when it needs to? I can't complete the training. I couldn't save my wife.
He kind of looks a little glum as he gives you a half-hearted smile. Well, I can't really answer that, son. When they say the Lord works in mysterious ways, that's not a euphemism that people just throw around willy-nilly because it's not true. I think anyone can look at the world right now and tell you that this is some strange working. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why it's hard. I can't even do it myself. All I can tell you is that any skill takes a while to hone. A man might have a natural inclination for planting and growing, but he's not going to sow a crop that can feed a family on his first try. And I know that's hard to hear, especially when that particular crop was someone very dear to you, and you would give anything to take it back, but that's the hand you've been dealt. That's that's a step on the plan that's been laid out before you. And there are great things ahead of you. I promise that. There's great things ahead of everyone like you. You wouldn't have these abilities if they weren't. You just got to get there.
After hearing those words, JP sits a minute and contemplates. And then he stands up and grabs the stick. Go get it, boy. Throws it. And as the dog runs, he tries to cast stun again. I'll just go ahead and roll. And I'm gonna not do it with the D. I'm gonna say his spirit was lower at that point
Yeah,
in time. So
for sure.
I'm gonna say instead of a D8, D6, I'm gonna drop it a die. And I get a 4. So doggy goes
Dog
stun
stunned.
stun.
There you go. There you go. And he walks up next to you. See? That's something.
I'll make sure And he looks very determined at this point. I'll hone these abilities, and I'll make sure that I always use them to the greatest of my abilities to make sure that the innocent are protected in any way that I can see fit.
He kind of puts two hands on your shoulders. All that can be asked of you is to try. All right, son? If you take the whole world on your shoulders, your back's going to break every single time. Try to help one person at a time, and you're going to fail some of them. But for every person you fail, try that much harder for the next. And you will make the world a better place. I promise.
And I'll do
And I think
that.
those words might echo in your head just a little bit as you're sitting there in that campfire years later.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this was bad. Do better for the next person.
Seems like I will. And JP just kind of solemnly, more or less thinking to himself, do better for the next person.
All right. The night passes. So, we're going to enter into another little bit of a kind of travel montage here as we start moving down the slope. You guys tell me something that you guys do, like something that you all would do on your way down as the slope still steep, the trees still very thick, that sense of foreboding never going away, the hair on the back of your neck never truly standing down in the shadows of these mountains. What do you guys do on your way down for the next week?
And you said after that night sleeping, the fatigue is
Yeah.
gone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your fatigue will subside sometime during this week.
Gotcha.
Maybe effectively maybe not like in the first day, but you've got a week of travel. Your fatigue will subside.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Everybody just give me one thing.
JP is going to be even more earnest in his times of prayer.
A lot of JP on the back of the horse reading, occasionally speaking aloud. You guys recognize someone who's being repentant at the moment. He's reconciling his past right now, but he does seem to be, I assume, lightening a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. What about you two?
I guess just keeping us on track. There ain't really much.
Yeah, just guiding the way. Simple.
Uh, as we kind of go to try and keep things light, Ollie would probably ask Mr. Whitman maybe about like where he's from, because now that he knows that he's somewhat possessed, we're gonna be reinforcing those nice, good memories
And
for when we need them.
I'm also gonna throw this out here just for you, Oliver, since you have a history. He's not somewhat possessed. He's all the way possessed.
Oh yeah, we're trying, silver lining this one.
Yeah, he is all the way possessed. He is just in control of his possession at the moment.
No, like that's what Ollie's thinking about on the ride is like what he can do to reinforce control
Mhm.
and pushing that.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't
There's some.
listen. I reinforce his knowledge of I have control.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to worry about it.
Okay. Do you tell Oliver where you're from? You talk about home?
Very little, and then I start getting tired of if he keeps asking questions.
That's fair. I like that.
Okay. You learn a little bit about Mr. Whitman. You know he's from East Tennessee. You know his family has a mine.
That he's
Uh,
stacked.
They were rich before the war. Uh, they got a lot richer after the war. You start thinking about it since you're from out west. You know Duststone. You know Wraith Steel. You know about the trade. It's very possible his family may be one of the most wealthy families in the Confederacy.
Shame about the whole shit happening.
Yeah, no, big pile of shit, isn't it? But yeah, you learn all of that. The travel is a bit quiet, a bit more terse than you guys are used to, maybe. But it's starting to slacken. As we come kind of the end of this third week of travel, as you guys are truly hitting the bottom of the mountains, and you're at that point to where it's starting to level off. You're in the woods, but you're in more hills now than mountains. As you are leaving the Ozarks behind, as you all go to camp up for this end of the third week, kind of sitting down, enjoying a night, maybe quietly, uh, as the full moon starts to rise and it actually illuminates the area around you, bringing a more bright sort of night where you can actually see a little further. Um, you guys are about a week away from Springfield. Are there any plans you guys want to make before you get there?
Talk about disguises, I guess.
Okay.
Well, we already have our names to go by. Disguises. Well, for the first bit, I might take off my breastplate and put on a duster.
Duster's a fine choice. I think I wear mine as well.
JP probably doesn't have to worry too much. Not yet.
I guess I can get a new hat. Maybe get a black and
We can get you a new hat, new pair of boots if you want them too.
nah, these are now some broken in. I've had them about 20 years now.
God damn.
Keep up with them. They last long.
It's good boots.
There, you,
Also-
you you only see the upper covering. The bottom is literally just worn through, and he's walking on his bare feet at this point.
Those boots are +1. Those are +1 boots right there.
I guess I can get a new duster as well. I don't know. I think there's a few bullet holes in them.
No, that's a good idea. But for now, I think everyone should get some sleep. Both of you. I'll do watches tonight.
Okay.
He's upset.
Wake me up for the third one.
Alright.
I'll wake you up.
They're like normal.
The first watch comes down. It is Oliver's watch.
Yeah, I'll do the first two.
Okay. Give me 2 notice checks.
All right, first one. First one is a 7. Second one is a 2.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
a 4.
your second watch ends. JP and JP and Mr. Whitman, I need common knowledge checks from both of you.
5 for JP.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 3.
Okay. JP, curiously enough, this common knowledge check was really more about your body's clock, sort of thing.
Mhm.
You're expecting to be awoken for a watch, so you kind of doze and kind of flitter your eyes around the time the third watch should be. You wake up and Oliver is not in the camp.
Oh. Okay. I'm going to first, I guess, stand up and I guess look to see if I can see any sign of him leaving camp to like, maybe go to the bathroom or something. Or
Sure.
uh
Give me a survival check.
survival. 5.
Um, I think the only way to fairly do this is to say, Chance, also give me a survival check to see if your like passive ability to move is better than JP's to perceive you, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Right. That's an 8.
Okay. No. You can't really tell where Oliver went. You're looking around, maybe he walked off, you're not sure. Let's go back to earlier that night. Um, it's about 10:30. The other two have gone to sleep when you leave the camp. How far do you think you go?
Hmm. I'll probably go decently far. Probably
Okay.
walking like 30 minutes. Maybe would have tried to like pick a spot while we were moving,
Yeah, on your
like
on your
trying to
own
find
back
it.
trail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you trace your steps back maybe 2 or 3 miles, back kind of up the foothills just a little bit, as you find yourself a nice tree to kind of park yourself under. Uh, take a drink and sit down. It's a nice night. It's a calm night as you're just kind of sitting there thinking about, phew, your life up until now. Some of the choices you've made, some of the ones you haven't made, roads that have led you here, all that. You just feel on edge. And you maintain that on edge for about an hour or so. And you maintain that it's just edge. I need you to make a spirit check around midnight.
Here we go.
You may add a +2 to this because of so, oh, Bubba.
Oh,
Because of Bubba.
Hello?
You
That's
may
a
add a
What's
+2
Bubba.
to
up?
this.
thank you, Bubba.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Did you get my
7.
message?
Huh?
A 7.
Did you get my message?
From what? In
Earlier.
what?
In what?
Text message.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. In the you talking about in the yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as you sit there, just kind of breathing, thinking to yourself about everything, you start to feel pain sort of resonating from your feet and shooting up to your head. Just that sort of full body, like migraine style pain. That sort of headache where it's just like your whole body feels like it hurts. And then it escalates. And it escalates into a pins and needle kind of feeling. as it feels like you're just being stabbed by tiny pinpricks all over your body. And then it feels like your body is almost tearing itself apart, but is held together. So it can't actually, but you just sit there kind of writhing in pain for a solid 15 minutes trying to ride out the sensation before you're left panting and just sitting under the tree, just sweating. But the pain has subsided. The feelings have mostly subsided. I need a second spirit check.
Yummy the bitch. Do I add 2 to this one or no?
No, not to this one.
Okay. Then we will use a chip
Coward.
if allowed.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Oh, fine.
You can always use a chip.
I use a chip. It was the exact same. A
Nice.
3.
Nice. You breathe out, the pain subsided. You just kind of look at your hands, just kind of bury your face in them for a second. And that's when the rage sets in. That's when this well of hatred that you can't explain sets in. You just feel furious at everything around you. And you start to just lash out. You draw your sword and just start hacking at all of the vegetation around you. You start stabbing down anything you can see. And it sort of culminates in you running out into the night in pursuit of sounds. Give me a luck check.
Alrighty. I rolled 2d6 because I didn't know what I was rolling, and I got a 5.
Okay, that's fine. More than one unfortunate incident happens where a smaller creature of the night, like a raccoon or a possum, is waylaid by a man with a blade in the middle of the night, leaving it rent in half. As you spend the night charging through the woods, killing indiscriminately. Anything running through your head while this is happening other than the blinding fury that you feel?
Probably. Like, if I feel like this pent up rage just kind of like explode,
Mm-hmm.
just keep a hold on it and like lean into it to a degree.
Okay.
Just like if this is like if a dog has to run in a circle,
Yeah.
then I can do that.
Yeah.
And it can't get worse.
Okay. And you spend your night forcing this feeling out of yourself, not holding back, just letting it flow out in hopes of releasing it from yourself. And as this is all going on, we go back to JP, who is just awoken for his watch to find Oliver gone.
Okay. So, and I noticed that I couldn't tell where he went, so I'm going to frantically go over to Mr. Whitman. Mr. Whitman. Mr. Whitman.
He's hard of hearing. You're gonna have
Oh
to
yeah.
try.
I shake. I start nudging him.
What in the hell? What are you?
Oliver's
What do you
gone.
want? What?
Oliver's gone.
He's probably taking a piss.
He's been gone for a minute.
Big piss.
How long's a minute?
There's no sign of him anywhere that I can see.
I get up. I kind of stretch a little bit, look around. Kind of look for signs if he's for his trail. If he's going somewhere.
All right, you're looking for a trail.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
10.
Okay, your DC was at 8, as previously set by chance. You see a trail, headed south, or well, yeah, south, back towards the mountains.
Well, I see some footprints right there headed back south.
You also do see that his kit is all still at camp, as is the horse.
He didn't take the horse. He didn't take his kit. So he ain't running from us. You don't think we're crazy yet, I don't reckon.
Don't know where he'd be.
Like I said, probably taking a piss.
I don't know. Just, why go so far to do that?
Maybe he's got a small wiener.
Beacon
Take,
X.
take a fucking shit.
I don't see how that has anything to do with the current.
I don't see how he could.
Have you seen the man? No.
Well, we can take a look around, I reckon.
I think we should.
I don't want to go too far. We got a lot of other belongings right here.
Well,
Kind of walk around a little bit. See how deeper it goes.
mm-hmm.
See that it goes pretty far. Continues on. Think he went back to that house? There ain't no way. I guess if he took the first shift. What time is it? It's like their third shift, so that's like
Yeah.
early, super early morning.
It's like 2 a.m., like 3 a.m.
I mean, we rode all day. Maybe he thought he could get by foot. No, that can't be it.
No.
Chance, roll a d4 for me, please.
Two.
2. Okay. So that's okay. So that timing actually works out relatively. The state you were in lasts for 2 hours. So
Bada bing, bada boom.
probably about an hour before this starts happening, you snap out of it. You
I guess
find yourself kind of in a stupor, standing in the middle of the woods, your blade wet with blood as you stand over a raccoon that has been cloven in half.
Kind of on hands and knees, kind of like pull back and just kind of like breathe. Just kind of take a minute, roll over and sit down, and just start cleaning myself off.
Mm-hmm. Clean yourself off. You start heading back to
Clean my
camp after you.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now once I'm good and I've kind of breathed for a bit. Yeah, I start heading back towards camp.
Okay. Start heading back towards camp. Back to you two.
I guess we can start packing up and go out and look for him.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's what we'll do.
About 10 minutes later, you guys have packed up a little bit and you are getting ready to head out when you hear a twig snap coming from the south and you see Oliver walking back into camp.
Now, where'd you go run off to?
I wouldn't say run. I don't know. Maybe that soup caught up with me. I had to take a shit.
What I tell you.
Walk over to my bedroll, start cleaning up.
Made me all worried. He just wanted to take a shit, didn't want to spread his smell all over the camp. Man, it's all worried for nothing. As I'm saying this, I'm getting in my bedroll. Now you take your ass, watch out.
I appreciate the concern.
And JP's over here
Really
just like,
nothing.
he's been gone for hours.
No. As far as you're concerned, he's been gone for about 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay, never mind then. I'm like, okay.
Because you woke up at the end of his second watch.
Okay.
In which case, you woke up Mr. Whitman after not being able to find anything. You guys talked and then spent 10 minutes packing up.
Alright. Well, my bad.
I appreciate the concern, but it's really nothing. Just
All right, you two keep down now. We already got it covered here. Jeez. Trying to get some shut eye, get woken up, and I'm all grumpy and whatnot. Been running out of bed, and I ain't even got much cigarettes left, and smoked them all, and only get my back started to hurt again, and shit. That bit,
Okay.
go to sleep.
As you all go to sleep, the last watch finished uneventfully. You all awake the next morning, and you have a week left to get to Springfield. You take the ride, clip-clop your way there. Now that the foothills are starting to flatten out, that sense of foreboding, that dark feeling you felt in the mountains is starting to subside as you make your way towards the town proper. And as you ride up, you spend a few nights in in the bush, just kind of sleeping rough. But eventually, you're able to actually land on a road, and that's able to carry you pretty quickly the rest of the way. As you all crest a hill, seeing smoke in the distance, you see a sprawl before you. Uh, you see a town, easily the biggest you've seen since Memphis. Clearly a population numbering in the thousands. You see wires for telegrams running. You see a railroad or two running through the town proper. You see streets from far. You see people. You see carriages. You see factories, packing places, warehouses. You see smoke coming up, billowing as you look out over a well and honest city. As your portion of the journey for tonight ends, we go back to the mountains, to the Ozarks, to a little burnt out cabin. A root cellar beneath it, you see, or none of you see, but you hear, through my storytelling, a chair covered in dried blood beneath a sort of hung lantern with this sort of soot covered dark experience to it, and you see a blood smear leading from the chair up some stairs towards a trap door. As you see a man sitting under this trap door, slowly pushing it up and peering out into the remains of his burnt house and looking at the charred body he planted there.
Mhm.
And that's where we're going to end the session.
okay.
Mm.
You wanted.
Sometimes it's more fun to tell you what you don't see.
That little encounter that was supposed to not take any time at all, that one session, is now going to be a main plot point of our entire campaign.
Yes, it is. You're welcome.
Whew. Yeah, I didn't see any of that coming.
Yeah.
That burnout body was going to be y'all's buddy for the rest of the way to Springfield.
Bubba, you missed it. Austin almost died twice.
Huh?
And when I mean almost died, one time he was at deathbed.
I would say I literally
Who?
would me. I literally
Oh.
would have died had I not been able to soak with a Benny.
Whoever has to. God, do I have to do the next time? It's gonna be a bitch.
Well, lucky for you, I will put this on YouTube and you can listen to it as much as you want.
Now I know what happened.
That was wild, boys. I knew this was going to be a shorter session, but wow. That was a jam-packed 2.5 hours, wasn't it?
Yes, yes, it was.
There's a
Opened
lot.
buttholes for-
There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is also an experimental thing. There have been like a couple schools of like storytelling and tabletop. That was one thing I wanted to ask you guys about. In a plot point like the particular like the witches on the mountain, do you guys enjoy it more if I just kind of like casually mention stuff that happened that you guys don't know about, or would you prefer to me leave it completely ambiguous and not say anything?
No, tell us.
I don't say, I
Yeah,
think
I'm
it's
cool
with it.
interesting.
It's like the end of an episode,
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
and it goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it affect the
Okay.
future? Who knows?
Who knows?
Find out next time.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that
Certainly
goes
not
fast.
next time.
Or in 2 months.
Far in the future.
Yes.
If ever. This may mean nothing to you guys.
When we all get shot from behind, we see this old man again crawling up towards our dying corpses.
Well, you'll
Again,
get
the
shot first.
newspaper.
Then I'll have time to get into cover.
Again, younger than Mr. Whitman, not really old dudes.
Or we read a newspaper how a forest became extremely haunted. Or some other crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to clue you guys in on how I expected that to go. I expected you guys to figure out that, oh, he's the bad guy, which you guys have pretty much already done. I was gonna try to drug you if you would actually eat the food. I didn't expect you guys to be dumb enough to like eat the food as he handed it to you, which to your credit you were not. But it was drugged. He was keeping a guy in his basement. He had had that guy in his basement for a long time. And once he realized he was in a stuffed spot, I was getting ready to make it a fight. But then when you lit the house on fire, I got the idea. He's just gonna go downstairs, kill this dude, and leave the body upstairs, and then hide in the basement.
Yes.
And it worked.
It worked greatly for you.
But that being said, best and worst, everyone.
Best is the various stories. Now, actually, I think the best is the your ability to take a side quest, turn it into a main quest, and make it very interesting. Also, I like the lethality of the combat, and it made it a lot more
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
interesting.
it wasn't even the shotgun blast that scared me. I'm gonna be honest. When Austin went back in that burning building, I was like, he is one failed shaken away from dying in here. Like he will fail, catch on fire, and he will die in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was on pins and needles that whole time. Like my hackles were raised. I was nervous as shit. I really thought I was about to kill one of my players.
You wouldn't have killed your player. It would have been your player who ran into the building killing himself.
I assumed the role of physics in this interaction, and physics was about to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Physics and chemistry were about to combine in a beautiful thing, light you on fire, and then leave your body to be crushed by a collapsing house.
I would have accepted
And
it gladly.
I would have felt pretty bad because I've grown to like JP. If JP met his end in that fashion.
It would have been totally worth it. And totally deserving.
And then what was your worst, Daniel?
I don't know.
No, well,
We can come back to it. What about you two? Best and worst?
I already said my worst.
Oh,
Not
the kind of
realizing.
botched early roll.
Yeah, not
Fair enough.
realizing I could have done or readied both actions and thinking I had to.
Look, we're 8 sessions into a new system. Like we're starting to learn it, but we still don't know it. So don't ever feel bad for a technical flub up, or a suboptimal play. Like this isn't 5e. We haven't been playing it for 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
so don't feel bad about that. If you want that to be your worst, that's fine. But I really don't think that's a worst. I think that was just it led to interesting storytelling.
For JP, it's his worst.
Fair enough.
But I will say my best is gonna be the between your storytelling rolling with that absolutely unforeseen decision and the playthrough that developed with JP through it.
Yeah. I enjoyed having a flashback. I didn't expect to have a flashback, but I enjoyed that. It gave me a chance to air out Bill just a little bit before he ever gets any real screen time.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. I think that was all. That would be my best.
Yeah. Chance, what about you?
Best. Was women's story. I like getting to hear, what the people got going on.
And I respect the hell out of both Daniel and Mr. Whitman on that one. I didn't expect you to spill all the beans, but you gave away your secrets, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That is
good
true.
shit.
Got me in a vulnerable state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't see you being possessed.
And I love that. But it's
JP doesn't know.
well, see, it's the perfect parallel because Mr. Whitman didn't learn about my abilities until later on. And now it's just like Oliver is the one guy that just learns everything about everybody while no one knows nothing about him.
It's almost like you guys have the power to ask Oliver anything, but haven't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those, he hasn't presented anything to make people question, like, he saw me touch a guy and the guy get healed. He saw the weirdness that happened with Mr. Whitman as well as me, but he actually has the experience with cults and that to know, hey, I need to investigate that a lot further than what's being investigated. So it's just like Oliver's been in these little scenarios that just at the right time to be like, there's a question that needs to be asked here because I'm reading some BS going on.
Hello?
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 Fuck was that?
Hello? What?
The ding. Like someone came on.
I didn't hear a
hear a
ding.
ding. I didn't
Was
hear
it
a
just
ding.
me?
It was probably
That may
just
have been
you.
you.
Honey.
Oh, that was weird. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting little like accidental thing that's happened.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
But no, I liked learning about Mr. Whitman's stuff. Yeah, no, kudos to just rolling with it because Jesus Christ, who could have seen it going that way? Yeah. I like talking to Molly. I like actually learning Molly's name because that was a very bad thing that we didn't learn her name.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Miss
good.
Molly Graham. Miss Molly Graham.
Hologram.
Probably dead.
Well, maybe now, yeah.
Worst was it getting out of hand, but then I don't know, it led to stuff, and so it's like it's like that could have gone better, but I think it led to some interesting places.
I agree.
Besides that, I wish I could have thought of something better to do for during travel time. That one's on me.
No, I mean it's fine. I knew there was gonna be 1 week where it's like I'm gonna have to ask him to do something during travel time, and to be fair, it had been a little tense. Like I hadn't anticipated the yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, how could you? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so
right.
used to playing a wizard who has 1,000 things going on, and so it's
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
like, what does the fucking warrior do
Maybe you guys should
during
start
travel
doing
time?
some wizardness or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's on my to-do list, but I have to like level up
No,
first.
that's fair. That's fair. That's super duper duper fair.
No, that was
You guys made it to Springfield though.
we did. That was a good one. That was a good one. Let me stop this recording before